Hi guys, happy 2 by Tuesday. JD Eicher here. Welcome to vlog number 2 of JD Eicher's Adventure in Nicholas Sparks Land blog vlog. If you haven't seen the first one, please stop over at Facebook/JD Eicher or YouTube/JD Eicher to check that one out. It'll make this one make more sense. What's on my back? You might be wondering. This is a massager. When I was near Boston at a house show, met some nice folks named the Kohlers. They had this. I tried it. I fell in love. It's incredible. And I told my wife when I got home that this is all I wanted for my birthday, thus forcing her to get it for me. And life on a personal level has been really good ever since. So anyway, I kind of wanted to kill two birds here and do the vlog and get a massage at the same time. It will make me feel more relaxed, more comfortable, more talkative, which actually is never a problem. But honestly, I just know that you always want me to be comfortable. You always want me to be relaxed, which is honestly one of my favorite things about you. So I figured this would be okay. But let's get right down to it. We left off at kind of the songwriting process and talking to Nicholas on the phone, etc. So once I started to kind of get into the mode of the collaboration, the first step was to research. So I read a couple of his books, and I watched a movie or two, just to kind of get a better picture of his work. I had seen The Notebook and another movie or two of his, but I wanted to read some of his books and just get a more well-rounded view of his work. So I read 3 Weeks with My Brother, which is kind of about his life. I read See Me, which is a suspense story. There's a love story in there too. And then The Choice, which is more of a traditional love story with, some health conflicts and family stuff thrown into the mix. Got a good picture of things. Actually, I really enjoyed reading his stuff. I know he gets stereotyped for writing books just for, for the female demographic or whatever, but I really enjoyed the stories. I wanted to keep reading, and I plan to keep reading. I actually need to read The Notebook. I've seen it, but it's time to read it, so that's next on my list. So anyway, did a little research, and I got a brief of the book. The book hadn't been finished yet when this project started, so he was still finishing it up. But I got the brief, which it's kind of like if you were to go to, if you were going to go pre-order the book on Amazon, you'd see a couple paragraphs about it, or a brief description. So I got that kind of thing about the story, and then had a phone call scheduled. So we got on the phone. I was very nervous. It was really cool to talk to Nicholas and to kind of hear him. He brought me through the story, the plot, and the characters, and we talked about the themes, and we talked about musically different directions it could go. I was really nervous, and I was jotting down notes. I have this notebook here that I use to just take notes and stuff for if I'm like doing a song, and so I was jotting stuff down, and we were just talking through different ideas, and I remember asking him, musically, do you see this being real stripped back? Do you see it being epic? Do you see it being a ballad versus what was the direction? And it was really cool. He basically just left it open to me. He said, I want you to write the song that feels right to you, and make this something you can take ownership of and stuff, which I thought was very trusting and kind for him to just let me take the reins on it. And it made it easy because I was able to really kind of own this part of the project and enjoy it in that way, which it was a cool thing for me. I touched on this last time, but it's a story about a father and his daughter, and my favorite part of that call was, he had gone through everything, and he's like, so is this something you think you could be inspired to write about? And I was like, man, my wife and I are going to have a baby girl soon. This is like the best time ever for me to write this song, and it really just felt like pieces were fitting together. It was just too cool how that happened. After I got off the phone with Nicholas, I had this notebook full of ideas, so I tried to boil all that down and really look for the raw emotion and the main threads that I wanted the song to focus on. And basically, I think the idea was, a novel, you can tell a story in depth and you can go into detail. And so, but the song, you don't really have the luxury of time as much. So for me, it was more about, if you read the book, it would hopefully amplify those same emotions that you got while you're reading the book. It would kind of take the main theme and feeling of that storyline and just kind of push it over the edge, or kind of help. Yeah, amplifies the word. Help amplify, those feelings and the struggle in the book and stuff. So I tried to boil all of my notes down to that idea, and I ended up deciding to write the song in a way that, even though the book is about a father and his daughter, it's really about how, we need someone else in our lives, and how we go through life depending on other people, and looking to other people and stuff. So I wanted the song to be able, the song to fit with the story, but also if you're listening to the song, you could apply it to your own 2x2 story, if you will. And so I sat down. I had the melody. We'll find our way 2x2. Kind of had that thing in my head, and sat down at the piano. Piano felt right for the song. I just think piano has like an epic sound about it sometimes, and I wanted it to be kind of hopeful sounding. The song needed to have a little bit of sadness in it, but it ultimately needed to be hopeful. And so I sat down at the piano and played around. Actually, there's this keyboard here. And so, let's see if I'm going to turn this massage thing off. Get this out of the way now. And so I had that main chorus part in mind, and I started to play with this piano riff. That kind of thing. And that was what I started singing the verse, melody and lyrics over. And so, a lot of people want to know the order of things for songs. So with this song, it was lyric and melody for the chorus first, and then the piano part, and then the verse, melody, and lyrics. And once I had the song kind of drafted up, I did what's called a demo, which is just a rough recording. Sent that over to Nicholas and his team, and they got back to me with their feedback. And generally, overall, they liked it. They liked the music part. They said to keep that the same. But Nicholas wanted me to try to elaborate more on the actual meaning, or like a main idea behind 2x2. Why is it called 2x2 rather than like side by side, so to speak? And so then and honestly, I was happy to get that feedback, because it was a total shot in the dark. You're writing a song, and he knows the story by heart, and I'm trying to get as close to what he wants as I can without really knowing what he wants. So it was good to get the feedback. He did it in like the nicest way ever, and so I spent some time thinking about that. I was on the road, and I had just a guitar with me, so I would sit down occasionally and try to capture that 2x2 concept a little bit differently. And so what I ended up doing was reworking some of the pre-chorus sections, and then I moved some of the verse lines around just to kind of support that those changes a little bit. And so anyway, I cut another demo, sent it out to him and his team. They approved it. All was well. And then it kind of went down to recording it. So right in this room with the instruments you see here, tracked the song and produced it in-house, mostly for time purposes, but also budget stuff. And then I was about to leave for another tour, so I was like in between. It was kind of crazy, but I sent the session to Michael Wilshire. He's an awesome mix engineer, to mix the song. And so like in between flights and kind of this craziness, in order to meet the deadline for the song, he and I are back and forth, and I'm like emailing him like, yeah, this is good. And, we had a couple like revisions on the mix and stuff, and then finally was done with that, sent it to mastering, and then had it, thank God, in time for the deadline. And the rest is is history, I guess. At that point, it just moved on to planning for getting the music out there and spreading the word about it and stuff. So it was kind of a flurry. The whole process from writing to having the finished mastered recording was super short. I don't know if it was maybe a month or month and a half or something like that, to get it all done in time for the deadline. There's a lot of moving parts with the project, so I had to get it done pretty quick. But a great experience, and one that I'm really excited and grateful for. So I think that pretty much wraps up the songwriting stuff. The next vlog will be about um, when I went down to North Carolina to meet Nicholas and hang out with him for a day and got to meet his team. And so we'll pick up there on the next vlog. Thanks for tuning in. I know I just rambled for a long time, so if you're still here, you're awesome. And even if you're not here, and you're not hearing this, but if you're not here, I'm just glad that you tuned in at all. So, um, hope to see you soon. Hopefully, you'll be able to tune in on the next 2 by Tuesday. We'll be in touch. Godspeed.